Ever felt your heart race over something stupid? A message left unread, a look that felt off, a stranger's disrespect. Most people stay stuck in this loop, reacting to everything, handing away their peace like it's worthless. But what if you didn't? What if you could stay so calm, so unbothered, it rattled people? Today, I'll show you 6 Stoic ways to do exactly that, to turn your mind into a fortress, and finally, protect your peace. Part 1. Stop taking things personally. It's not about you. Most people walk around like emotional sponges, soaking up tension, tone, and silence, even when it's not meant for them. One side glance turns into self-doubt. One unread message spirals into overthinking. But here's what the Stoics understood. The world isn't targeting you. It's just moving. And sometimes it moves through chaos. You might think someone's ignoring you, when in reality, they're buried under their own guilt, stress, or distractions. You assume someone's being cold, but maybe they're carrying pain they don't have the words for. We interpret their behavior through our insecurities, not their reality. You build peace the moment you stop making everything about you. The Stoics didn't take offense easily because they didn't see themselves as the center of the universe. They trained themselves to zoom out, to see behavior for what it was: data, not destiny; signals, not sentences. Here's a truth that's hard to accept. You are not entitled to someone else's clarity. You're not owed an explanation, a follow-up, or even fairness. But that's okay, because your power isn't in getting answers. It's in deciding what you carry. Epictetus reminds us, when someone does you wrong, it is your own opinion which causes you to be troubled. That means you're not at the mercy of what someone did. You're at the mercy of the meaning you attach to it. Next time someone withdraws, lashes out, or ghosts you, don't react, don't chase, don't absorb. Just say silently, "Not my story, not my storm, not my weight." That's not detachment. That's emotional self-respect. Part 2. Control the space between trigger and response. Something happens. Someone disrespects you, interrupts you, dismisses you, and instantly you feel it. The surge, the spike, the storm. That moment, the split second between what happens and how you react, that's the space that defines your life. Most people never pause long enough to even notice it. Their response is automatic. They raise their voice, fire off the angry text, let their face twist into resentment, and afterward, regret, exhaustion, self-betrayal. But that space, that tiny pause, is where Stoicism lives. It's where freedom begins. Let's say you get cut off in traffic. Your pulse rises. Your hands grip the wheel. In that moment, your brain tells you, this is war. But a Stoic inserts a thought between the feeling and the action. Is this really worth handing over my peace? Or imagine someone leaves your message on seen. You stare at it, that quiet burn in your chest. Your mind fills in the blanks. They're ignoring me on purpose. But that's not a fact. That's a story. And you get to decide whether to believe it. The Stoic doesn't swallow every emotional impulse. They ask, is this real? Or just my fear wearing a disguise? Is this useful? Or am I just feeding my ego? Marcus Aurelius reminds us, choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed, and you haven't been. That's not denial. That's discipline. The Stoic doesn't deny the emotion. They acknowledge it, but they don't serve it. They feel the fire rise and choose not to burn the house down. They say, I see the anger, I hear the impulse, but I'm not letting it drive. The more you do this, the more you interrupt the chain between trigger and reaction, the stronger your mental muscle becomes. So here's your Stoic challenge. Today, when something provokes you, don't react immediately. Just pause. Count 3 seconds. Ask yourself, does this deserve my energy or just my awareness? That's how you reclaim your power. Through awareness, then choice. Part 3. Emotional minimalism. Not everything deserves a reaction. You've heard of minimalism with your stuff. Fewer clothes, less clutter, more clarity. But Stoics practiced emotional minimalism. Fewer reactions, less drama, more peace. Most people respond to everything. A passive-aggressive comment, clapback, an eye roll, confrontation, a slow cashier, meltdown. But here's the truth. Every reaction costs you energy. And most things don't deserve the price. Think of your emotional energy like currency. Every time you react, you spend it. And if you're spending it on insults, delays, and opinions that don't matter, you're broke by noon. But when you protect that energy, you build inner wealth. And with that wealth comes clarity, strength, and control. Marcus Aurelius wrote, you don't have to turn this into something. It doesn't have to upset you. He understood the power of letting things pass, untouched, unabsorbed. Emotional minimalism doesn't mean you feel nothing. It means you reserve your emotions for what actually matters. You don't need to correct every misinformed opinion. You don't have to reply to every jab or subtle insult. You are not required to fight every battle you're invited to. The Stoic response is restraint, not out of fear, but out of focus. So here's your challenge. Let one thing go today. That rude tone, that ignored message, that slow response. Let it pass and observe how little it actually mattered. Because the moment you realize your silence is more powerful than your reaction, you'll stop giving your energy to people who haven't earned it. And that, ironically, is when people start noticing your strength. Part 4. Let them try, but you don't have to play. Some people thrive on chaos. They poke, they produce, they provoke. Not because they're powerful, but because they're powerless without a reaction. The Stoic knows this, and they don't play the game. They don't perform. They don't explain. They just remain still and let the noise pass. When people realize they can't get to you, they either shift or they leave. They run out of fuel because drama needs an audience. And when you remove yourself from the stage, the show ends early. Picture a candle in the middle of a storm. The wind howls, the rain slaps the ground, but the flame doesn't flicker. It just burns, steady and contained. That's what your presence feels like when you stop reacting. Controlled, confusing, untouchable. And that confusion, it rattles people because most are used to pulling strings and watching others dance. But when you don't flinch, when your face doesn't shift, when your voice doesn't rise, you break their script. That's when they start saying, "You've changed. You're so cold now. You don't react like you used to." Good. That means your boundaries are finally visible. You're not here to be rude. You're just done performing for dysfunction. You've learned that not everything deserves your access. That silence isn't weakness. It's strategy. That distance isn't cruelty. It's clarity. Epictetus said, if someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation. In other words, they can try, but they only succeed if you play along. So let them try. Let them bait you. Let them wonder why you're so composed. Because when your reaction becomes rare, your presence becomes valuable. And when you choose peace over performance, you win without even stepping on the field. Part 5. Real strength looks calm. Real strength doesn't shout. It doesn't slam doors. It doesn't chase arguments or demand to be seen. It moves in silence, calm, measured, unshaken. You ever watch someone stay completely composed while chaos unfolds around them? While others panic, lash out, or unravel, they remain still. That's not indifference, that's control. Most people confuse stillness with weakness, but it takes far more power to hold your ground than to explode, to feel everything, and still choose not to be consumed by it. The Stoics understood this. They trained their minds like warriors train their bodies, through friction, repetition, and restraint. They didn't react to every insult. They didn't chase every misunderstanding. They reserved their energy for what actually mattered. Picture a mountain. Storms rage, winds scream, lightning strikes its peak, but the mountain doesn't flinch, doesn't collapse, doesn't shout back. It just stands, unmoved. That's the power of Stoic calm, being rooted so deeply that chaos can't reach your core. Seneca once said, "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself." Calmness isn't born in peace. It's built in pressure. It's built by sitting with your anger and letting it pass, by feeling disrespected and choosing not to defend your ego, by being misunderstood and deciding you don't need to correct every misperception. That level of calm isn't weakness, it's earned strength, and it begins with a simple declaration. I don't have to react just because I feel something. Because true power doesn't perform, it just is. So here's your challenge. The next time chaos enters your space, don't flinch, don't react, don't explain, just breathe. Let the storm pass while you remain the mountain. And afterward, ask yourself, what did I gain by not reacting? What did I protect by staying calm? Part 6. Build it like a muscle. Mastery through repetition. Mental strength isn't born, it's built. It's not a gift, it's a grind. Like muscle, calm is forged through resistance. You won't become unbothered overnight, but every time you pause instead of react, every time you breathe instead of argue, every time you let go instead of latch on, you level up. It starts small, standing behind a slow walker without sighing, letting someone interrupt you without needing to prove your point, hearing a disrespectful tone, and choosing to respond with stillness instead of ego. Not because you're weak, but because your peace is too valuable to trade. Epictetus said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." So you practice, and over time, things that used to ruin your entire day, they barely touch you. What used to trigger you now teaches you. What used to break you now builds you. That's the shift. That's the upgrade. That's what happens when calm becomes your default. And here's the truth most never learn. The goal isn't to feel nothing. The goal is to stop letting everything shake you. So the next time someone tests you, whether it's a troll, a stranger, or your own overthinking mind, remember this: you're allowed to pause. You're allowed to protect your peace. You're allowed to move on. And when you do, you become mentally untouchable. The next time your peace is tested, don't announce it. Don't defend it. Just protect it. Quietly, powerfully, relentlessly. And watch what happens. Because the man who doesn't flinch is the man no one forgets. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to our channel for more Stoic wisdom. See you in the next video.